Check us out to hear the latest on life in the volunteer state. Yvonnca and her guests discuss everything from life, love, and business with a Tennessee flair.
It's a Tennessee thing.
Always relatable, always relevant, and always a good time. This is Talking Tennessee, and now your host, Yvonnca.
This episode is brought to you by the Landes team, your go-to real estate family in East Tennessee. If you are looking to buy or sell, we are the ones you should call. Give us a call at 865-660-1186 or check out our website at YvoncaSellsRealEstate.com. That's Yvonnca, YVONNCA, sellsrealestate.com.
Welcome back to Talking Tennessee with Yvonnca. I am your host, and I am here with a dear friend of mine, is Dr. Dasha Lundy, and she is the president and CEO of Knoxville College. And welcome back. I had to bring you back for a part two.
Yes.
It's such a great conversation. And I'm just like, I just told her, I said, whoa, the Spirit of the Lord is in this room. And it is so heavy, but heavy in a good way. A very good way. And so let's talk about that. How can someone find their walk with God, their purpose, and leadership potential?
I think it always starts with your yes.
Okay.
If someone's asking that question, they got to say, I'm ready, and I'm going to walk this journey. So I don't know if you remember me talking about when I was early in my career, 32, God told me to quit my job. I didn't work for 4 years.
Speak on
because he was prepping me for something I didn't know. You know who told me to because I was so nervous and I needed confirmation. I said, if you want me to quit my job, give me confirmation. God used
He'll give it to you.
And God used a lady with dementia.
Really?
And that's how I knew it was God. I used to see these two sisters, and I was a traveling therapist at the time. And I used to see these two sisters that lived together. They lived in Tennessee, and they both had dementia, but they were still highly functional. They had family check on, but they lived by themselves. And as soon as I walked in the house, you know, with one of the sisters, you know, they always pray for me. They love the Bible. That was very interesting about them. And I took one of them outside. It was like a November, and we were just walking. And she said, "Honey, God is about to use you in a mighty way." I cried because she wasn't a new patient of mine. She knew nothing what I was hearing. And I just cried. I'm like, okay, God.
Let me ask you this. And this is funny that you're saying this, because I just, 2 days ago, I hadn't even said this to you. 2 days ago, Adrienne was struggling in her mind. And I said to her, Adrienne, can't stay on the problem. You have to show God, even in the struggle, you have faith. I said, if you stay on the problem, he'll keep you in darkness. But the day that you come out of that and you're praising God through the storm, through the struggle, and viewers, let me just tell you, it's not the easiest. But I had to learn through David when David got sick. God told me to go pray for all these people. I was like, God, I need prayer. How am I praying for people? But what God was showing me was, I've got you. These people need encouragement. I'm using you to go encourage these people. So you got to get off of your situation, because I got that. I need you to go over here and be the vessel for me. And so I was telling Adrienne, I said, you need Deja to tell you the story of when God told her to quit her job and basically depend on him, and how it shook her life up. And then you bring this up today.
Oh, wow.
And you know I hadn't said it to you.
No,
This was 2 days ago.
That's a
I said,
moment.
I said, you need to call Deja and let Deja tell you. So I said, because I think that if you hear Deja's story about that and how it felt, you know, I said, and I'm not trying to put your words out, I'll let you tell it, but just how you had to truly surrender.
And that was hard.
Can you speak on a little bit about quitting your job and what that season was?
Yeah, that was a tough season. So, of course, as a young female, I'm coming out of a long-term relationship of somebody that I thought I was going to marry. So you got that. And then that's very hard, especially when you're in your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all about, you know, kids and marriage and reaching your height of career. So everything.
And the world tells every
Right.
woman to go get married and have kids and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, you were in the public eye.
Yeah, a little bit. I was involved on different boards. So yeah, people
so
knew me.
were,
This was before county commission and all that
right.
stuff. So yeah, I was.
But you was
30,
already on
32.
that road of being in the public figure.
Yeah. So 32, and I was making 90,000, which 90,000
Are
was
y'all
good.
here?
90,000 was good money at when I was 32. Now it's probably not.
Yeah.
But that's another story.
Ahead.
So I'm leaving $90,000, traveling. The company I work for, they're paying for my hotel and food because I'm a traveling therapist, and my life was very comfortable.
So you had a good life.
Yeah, comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did it because that one lady confirmed, and then I went to another lady who did not have dementia. She was in her 60s, my regular routine patient. As soon as I walked in the house, she looked at me. She like, "Don't move." And I'm like, okay. So I had to stand in her living room, and she's like, "I got something for you." She gave me the devotional that has Jesus calling. I said, okay. God's not playing with me. Then I said,
probably scared.
I was very scared. Then I'm like, okay, if this is real, you gotta tell my mama. God said, if my mama's okay, then we good. I told my mama said okay. She didn't understand, but she like, okay. She just left it there. So I quit my job, 32. No income for 4 years. What was my assignment?
Did you
to rest?
Did you lose friends?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was just in that season by myself. I'm trying not to drop.
You're okay. Speak on it. God just shared.
It was the best season because I did not know I would be leading an institution. I had no idea I was going to be a county commissioner.
Come on.
That was not my goal in life. My goal in life was to be married and have 5 kids. That was my only goal.
And so you lost your relationship. Yet, even though you quit your job, you lost your job. You lost your friends. Because I know there was probably times, I love you.
I don't usually cry at
No,
this.
you're fine. But there was times that normally Deja making $90,000 a year could go out, go do things, all this stuff.
Go to the spa.
With your friends, and she loves the spa.
She loves the spa.
Okay. But then you couldn't do that anymore.
No. And it was God humbling me. Because your money doesn't save you. Your intellect doesn't save you. Your degrees mean nothing to God. Nothing. It is your obedience. It's God that qualifies you for the assignment. So when people talk about my assignment now, they always say she's not qualified. I'm not worried about that. Because the assignment belongs to God.
And He assigned you.
And He assigned me. So, yeah, going through that season,
was
4 years.
Was you very lonely?
Yeah, but you just trying to walk it out. But then, during that time, I was tired. You work, then you got to do all your board commitments, out running around, doing this and this and that. So when it was kind of relieved to quit in a way because I just wanted to sleep. I forgot myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
You were
a way.
just churning and burning.
Yeah, because that's what you do
Mm-hmm.
as a young professional. You just keep moving, and
And everybody's telling you to do this and do
you
that.
gotta do that.
I try to
we
tell
make
Adrienne,
our resume.
I'm like, Adrienne, pace yourself. Pace yourself.
Yeah.
Don't overextend yourself. Enjoy young life.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm talking about this, for one, God just shifted it. And when he says shift, I shift. But the reason why I talk about these things is because so many people need to know that purpose, God-given purpose, it doesn't knock on your door. You don't see it, within the second, and you know it all. And all. Faith is the biggest thing, and prayer, and getting in the Word. That type thing. And when I say get in the Word, because I don't want to just assume that everybody knows what I mean when I say that. Get in the Word is get in the Bible. Read the Bible. Read the Bible and understand that sometimes God will take you to being broke.
Brokety broke.
To get you where he wants you to be.
-0 was in my account several times. So people see how she's leading the college. I'm like, well, I've been here in my personal life. So God is the same in my personal life than as he is in KC's life, or me as a leader. Because it's not, I'm just Dr. Lundy as a leader, just so happen to be over an institution right now.
So at 32 years old, you had the life that you thought you wanted. You had the relationship, the job, the friends, the travel,
home, the car,
the home, the car, everything. And God said, no.
Leave it.
So then how did county commissioner come?
That was God. So of course, didn't work for 4 years, so I'm brokety broke, if that's the word.
Okay.
And God sent me to work for a small company in Cobb County. So when they called me, now I'm broke now. Remember this. So you thinking that I spent 4 years in the Bible, eating good. I mean, I was so small, but that's not
As you said, I was so small.
But just going through that and just journaling and finding who I am. And then he sends me back to work part-time. And they called me. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Now, so I still haven't learned my lesson. I don't have any money. And they called like, I ain't traveling nowhere. I don't want to. God, I took a shower. God said, that was me. And you were going where I tell you to go.
Oh.
And I'm like, I called him back. I said, yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah.
A true blessing to work for the company. It's a woman-owned company, and she's amazing. And I have to shout out Tammy Francis.
Yes.
You are amazing. CEO of Smoky Mountain Home Health and Hospice.
What's her name again?
Tammy Francis.
Tammy Francis.
Yes.
Thank you for taking care of my
You are amazing, and I think God had me there because I get to see how she leads as a woman in a world that, with healthcare and being a small business, they want to buy you out. They want to do this. There's always these big corporate ones, and she's still hometown, and she's still a servant leader.
Yes.
So just watching how she runs, and she probably don't even know that I watch her, or just seeing the culture that she has provided for the company.
I think a lot of times people don't realize that we all watch somebody that inspires us. I hope you do. Because especially when you're trying to find your way, you need to have somebody that you're watching that will inspire you to do amazing things.
Because it comes. So went back to work, got a little money, still not making as much, but it's not about the money for me anymore. It's just trusting the walk. And then so I got back involved. I became president of Burlington Neighborhood Association, and just doing little things, part of the East Tennessee Design Center. And I just started with a question I asked God. I said, why is it on every Martin Luther King Boulevard, there's always blight, poverty, and stuff, and it doesn't make sense. So I'm just trying to figure this out in life. So I just started going on that question, answering that question, and then somehow by me leading these different organizations, God's like, I don't even know if God said county commission. People kept saying, you should run for office. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
No.
That's not in my...
She's like, no.
Politics.
I don't want to be in no politics.
And then I remember sitting with God, that's like, so many people are asking, is this something I'm supposed to do? Am I ignoring it?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I even got an answer, but I felt like I was being pushed into
Yes.
that role. And I ran and had no idea what I was doing. And I had to beat the incumbent. I had like 9 weeks to beat the incumbent.
Oh.
And I didn't know anything about
I didn't know
county
that. I did not know that.
Yeah, because the election, you pick up your petition, I think it was December 2019, I think.
Okay.
And the election was March 2020.
Okay.
And so I ended up winning and
had no clue what she was supposed to be
I
doing.
just remember I said, God, I need a campaign manager. I need this. God said, I am your campaign manager. I said, oh, how does that work?
Oh.
I heard that clear as day. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but okay. And you think my faith would be there, considering I just came out of season and being broken now, I have some money.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't where God wanted to
strong.
be. It wasn't strong, so God was leading. So it took pure faith to run county commission and go through that. And I did my 4 years. I decided not to run it. Well, God decided, because when people asked, because I cried, people know that I cried in the last meeting I bought. People like, why didn't you run again? I said, my assignment was up. I can't explain to you why my assignment was up.
I know that feeling. When everybody thinks you should do something and God is telling you no. Mm-hmm. And when the assignment's up. I'll tell you one of the things, like my Facebook Live, I did for literally 4.5 years. And Deja, that assignment, I thank God for my daughter. Oh my God, I thank God for my daughter. Because when God gave me that assignment to do my Facebook Live, I would work all day long, me and Adrienne. That's why, that's my girl. Me and Adrienne would work all day long, and I knew I needed somebody to be able to talk to during my live, because I didn't want to just hear myself talking. Some people like to hear themselves talk. I don't like to hear myself talk. And so I was like, I need somebody to have a conversation with. And so we started doing these lives. There was times I would come off and be bawling my eyes out. Like, God, why? My husband questioned it. Everybody questioned why I was doing the lives. Everything. And then I kept apologizing to David. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, David, I know that when you married me, you knew nothing about your wife was going to have a call in her life. I said, I did not know this. I said, but this is an assignment from my calling, and I have to do it and see it through. And there was times that me and Adrienne would be, like, we think, Adrienne laughs about it and tells me this all the time, that sometimes I'd be like, okay, well, this is the end, we're about to end, it's 10:30 at night. And somebody would ask a question, and it would shift. Adrienne would be like, okay, she's on her last question. She's not gonna talk about nothing else. And girl, it would be at 10:30, and it turned into 12 o'clock at night, literally. And so I understand when you talk about that assignment, and when the assignment is over, it is bittersweet because it was something that I was used to doing, but it was relieving to I don't see myself ever going back to that because it was such a big assignment. Like we're about to do a live for Turning Knots, but it's once a week and it's for 30, 45 minutes max because I don't want to go back to that. But I can imagine, even all the good work that that you accomplished in that seat. It was over and it was probably bittersweet.
Oh yeah.
And how do people treat you?
I think some people were mad.
Okay.
And then I decided they didn't get it. They thought I was just bailing out because it was hard, and it wasn't. It was just the assignment. But I want people to think about it. If I would have ran and won that seat, I couldn't leave the school because I would be in office right now.
Oh, that's true.
And, and then for the record, I did run for state, and I did not win. But I know that was a reason I had to run for state. I know God called me to run.
It was a reason.
It was a reason, and I learned so much from that election. But I wasn't supposed to win it because I couldn't be here. I couldn't be at Knoxville College and be at the state.
But you do know that when you left in 2023, that publicly people came after you.
Oh yeah, I was the worst thing.
People came after you. People questioned you. People questioned your integrity. The whole shebang. And me and you wasn't even friends like that then. You know we wasn't. And we had met. Let me say, we had met before this, okay? But First Horizon had an event, and we all went, and Renee Kelly, shout out to Renee. She was there, and Deja walked up. She was cordial. She spoke everything, but she still was reserved. And so the more that you stood there, because you remember Renee, it was the night that Renee was like, you need to do Leadership Knoxville. And I was like, at the time, I did not know, y'all. I've been in business a long time, but I didn't know what Leadership Knoxville was, okay? And Renee's like, just Google it. You need to be leadership. You're epitome of that. You need to do Leadership Knoxville, Yvonnca. And I was like, I trusted what Renee said, you know, and so I went and did the research. But while I was there, Deja, you talked, but you didn't at the same time. You really, and I was like, I was intrigued. Because I meet so many people, but you intrigued me. I was like, who is this person? Why does this person intrigue me?
I am a quiet person,
Yeah.
though.
I mean, but it wasn't just that. It just, your spirit just intrigued me. And so I remember reaching out to you, and one of our other friends, Angela Dennis, shout out to Angela. I sent a text, and I said, because me and Angela had just had lunch, and I said, well, next time, Deja, you need to come along. Do you remember that?
I do.
And so Deja was like, okay, just let me know or whatever. Months went by. We didn't talk. But Deja, God kept putting Deja in my sight, you know. And so I can't remember. I think I asked you for lunch, and you remember me and you went to lunch at oh my gosh, what's the deli?
Is it Sam and Andy?
Sam and Andy's.
Is it? Okay.
We went to Sam and that's how me and Deja, we sat there and talked, and we just started calling each other, and it developed into a true sisterhood friendship. And I told you, I trust Deja. This is my dog, okay? You hear me?
We be cutting up, y'all.
We cut up, we do. But we hold each other accountable. We sit and we cheerlead for each other. If we see an opportunity that we think would be good for each other, we will literally either tell a person, hey, this is this, or we'll be like on the phone trying, you know, to bounce off ideas and stuff like that. And I want you to know you are in the right position because what you've done in the short time with me, you know, being a public figure, you know, you can't trust that many people, okay? And then you always feel like somebody's out to get you or want something from you. I never felt that way with you, never have, never will. And just true organic relationship. And so the reason why I'm saying all of this is to say, Knoxville College, y'all have a steward. Y'all have an angel from God that does not want anything to gain from Knoxville College besides to see it grow. If you do not pivot and allow this person to do what God has called her to do, shame on East Tennessee for not seeing a true shepherd. Okay? And when I say shepherd, a shepherd is the head. Y'all get in your word and read about a shepherd. Okay? Is it a head? She is a true shepherd, God ordained, and her heart's right. And I can't say I know that many people that I would say that about. I know that's kind of sad in a certain type of way, but Deja, I just feel like that because you went 4 years, you allowed God to strip you. There ain't nothing you could do if he did anyway.
He was gonna strip you regardless.
You allowed him to strip you. You allowed him to humble you. You allowed him to take everything of the world away from you. Because all that stuff we talked about is worldly things.
It's worldly things.
And I think it was to position you here. So when 2023 came for Knoxville College and you were the whistleblower, God allowed them to try to expose. They thought they was exposing you, and they didn't realize they were elevating and positioning you into what you're in now. And I think that Knoxville College could be a great institution. But I think that the powers that be, I'm not talking about God, because I'm talking about the powers that be that think that they're in control, need to be careful. Because when you mess with God's people, when you come after God's people, he's coming for you. Deja Knoxville College needs a rebranding. It needs a reboot. It needs things erased and not still people stewing over what has happened. It needs good stewards to come out and to lend their money and their time. And I am a person that believes in that, people don't like to talk about money. But money does exist.
And we need it.
Money does exist. And so I think now I want to talk about, what does Knoxville College need?
Knoxville College needs partners, need people to walk with us, volunteers, and of course we need money.
Okay.
But I start with the heart.
Their heart has to be right.
Their heart has to be right. And you have to have faith. And I tell our board that, and I'm grateful for a board that walks in faith. Because as we are searching for new board members, I just said that it has to be a person that has some kind of faith. Because when you look at the bank account and you look at that school and you look at what it is, you're going to be like, nah, I ain't doing it. So it's a faith walk for all of us.
Faith walk. Okay, do you have a plan?
I have a plan. My plan is to get rid of this debt. When I came in, we have a $4.4 million something debt that is 20 something years old.
Oh wow.
And I think that's why people criticize, because if you don't take care of that debt, you can't move. You can't get accreditation. Not because we have debt, we can't get accreditation, because that debt is a liability on our financial. So we don't qualify for accreditation. So my goal this time was take care of that debt and get a divorce from that lender.
Do you have people in place?
I have people in place. So now it's just prayer. Found somebody that can partner with us. Now we're just going through a process to see if we can completely close that deal. But my goal was to develop the land and let the revenue from the land support the institution of education. So that's
say that one more time.
The plan was to develop the land.
Okay.
We have 52 acres of land in the heart of our community, where you got to think about it. Knoxville College is in the Mechanicsville community, so that's 2 generations that have grew up with a Knoxville College that's blighted. So we got to use that land to serve the people, and whatever that is, we will go through a community process. What do people want to see? What would you support? But we are called to use that land to serve, not to put student housing on there and cafeteria for the students. This is a community hub.
So you need to basically pay off the lender.
And
start from the beginning.
And partner with the developer who is aligned.
Okay.
So people don't understand. My prayer was to God. I said, well, it wasn't really a prayer. Maybe it was a declaration. I said, God, you have already prepared the person who's supposed to partner with us.
And you feel like you found them?
And when I found that person, I said, they're the one.
Does the lender realize that you truly have somebody?
I hope they do, because I'm being having the scarlet A, the
Yes.
little A on my thing. There were they said that they didn't believe me,
Okay.
but they found out that person's real.
Mm.
So now we just have to go through the process.
Okay.
And see if it be clear, because that was my goal. When I told the chair of the board, I said, we got to get rid of this debt by homecoming.
Okay.
And that's a bold thing to say.
But God said, ask and it shall be given. And
Yeah.
he said, you have not, because you asked
Yeah.
not. So you're asking.
I'm asking because we can't stay in bondage and move to the future. So I'm putting God's word. That's why it's important to know your word, because the enemy always come into the mind and say it's not possible or it's not this. But when you speak God's word back, God's like, oh, okay.
Do you remember early in this podcast we talked about we've got to get past what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to set a new history.
Mm-hmm.
A transparent history, a given history in your time, your money, laboring, standing with Deja and her board, and making a difference in your community that's lasting for generations to come. Do you agree?
That's it. That is it.
So for personally, what's next for Dasha Lundy? Dr. Dasha Lundy.
What is next? I think only God knows that. But I see a lot.
You see a lot?
I see my leadership going to another level.
Mm-hmm.
My desire, my legacy is that I hope that when people watch me and watch my journey, that they find their path back to God and know that God is worth it. And the Bible is worth it. It's worth sitting down. It's worth being at peace. It's worth not striving. It's just worth being yourself.
Yes. So Dr. Dasha Lundy, she has said it. She's standing on faith. She's standing on promise. She's aligned and assigned. And all she needs is more people, godly people. And that's why he says, surround yourself with Christ-like people. Okay? And that's what Knoxville College needs. Thank you so much for coming in and talk to me.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. And the door is always open. You know, Talking Tennessee podcast is always open to my guests, especially the ones that I call a true sister to me. So I love you.
I love you.
And I pray that all things work together for the good and that God gets the glory.
That's what it's about. It's not about me.
She said it's not about her.
I'm good on my porch. You know that.
She is good on that porch. And she's going to finish out with her porch and that dog Anaya. That's her baby, y'all. So thank y'all so much for listening to this part 1 and part 2. It has been totally amazing. And I just want to say Knoxville College still lives. All it needs to do is grow. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to Talkin' Tennessee with Yvonnca. Watch out for our weekly episodes from the First Family of Real Estate and check us out on the web, www.yvoncasalesrealestate.com. See our videos on Yvonca's YouTube channel or find us on Facebook under Yvonnca Landes and Twitter @Yvonnca Landes. And don't forget to tell a friend about us. Until next time, Yvonnca signing off.